Hi there, Brett here at Tabletop Sagas, and a little bit of a different video for you today. Now, I have been continuing on with my Song Dynasty forces, and rather than doing another painting tutorial where I basically show you how to paint the exact same models in the exact same way that I have been in the last two videos that I've done now on these, if you do want to see those, check out my previous videos. I will link them in the video description for you. I thought I'd do, though, instead a bit of a hobby update video. And this is my next division of the Song Chinese. So let's have a little bit of a closer look here at these. So first thing here, we've got some medium infantry wielding pole arms. I have painted these up in my usual red style, as you can see, and a couple of different browns for some of the undercoats and trousers and things like that. These are purely just a melee-focused infantry unit, no ranged abilities on them, and they are looking really nice. I've got them painted up really well here and happy with how they've came out. I have also finally got round to actually ordering some MDF bases for these. These are in 35mm by 20mm, so roughly to, if you were to scale a standard 40 by 40 base down to the 10mm scale that I'm working in here, and really happy with how these came out. And obviously the usual Geek Gaming Scenics basing that I use for all of my miniatures here. And here we've got some mixed infantry, so spearmen in front and bowmen in the back. These are a really nice versatile unit that can, punch reasonably okay in close combat, but also have that nice long-ranged firepower as well. I do particularly like on these ones the arrowheads here in the slightly off-white colour, although I think here on the camera it is looking like just a pure white. It does add that nice little pop at the back, and is a little detail that I am glad that I spent a little bit of time adding that on. Once again, you can see here for the banners, I have just painted them as a solid colour. I haven't tried to do any I haven't tried to do any characters here on these, any Mandarin or whatever older Chinese dialects and languages will have been called, I'm not sure. And really happy again with how these came out. Solid addition to my forces. And then finally, I've just taken one of the Irregular Miniatures standard bearers, put them on a base. Oh, it is slightly bent, however. That's one of the problems of this soft metal, is that spears can start to get a little bit going in a little bit of a different direction. But yeah, I've put him on a base just as a commander for the division. So that's what I've been working on recently. I think that this is a little bit of a better option to show you where these are at and where the army is at, rather than trying to do just another painting video where I document exactly the same thing all over again. I am happy with how they came out, and I've added in now a third division into my Song Chinese forces. I do think that I need to start to add a little bit more to these forces, and I am starting to run into one of the problems that I am encountering here with Irregular Miniatures. Now, don't get me wrong, all of this, when ranked up, looks absolutely amazing, and I do really like it, but there's not a lot of variation here. There's, one polearm guy just repeated multiple times with a standard and a captain, and then there's a load of spearmen repeated, same effect, and a load of bowmen. Nothing really all that interesting going on in the units, and I would have liked to add a little bit more. And that's where what I've been working on in the background does come in. So here we have my 4th division, or part of my 4th division at least, that I have been painting up for this army. And you will notice that these have got a little bit bigger shields, and I will zoom in on these in a minute and you'll be able to see that they are a little bit more heavily armoured, and they do really give a nice effect for basically the same unit, but denoting that they are heavy infantry rather than medium. And you will notice as well, some have swords, some have maces, and obviously these are crossbows rather than bows, and there are some slightly different poses in. So who are these models? Well, these are from a creator called 10 Kingdoms. These are 3D printed models, which some of you may like, some of you may not, and I do perfectly understand. They definitely don't have the same weight as the cast metal miniatures, but they do allow somebody to resculpt something which is really quite a narrow interest, but still something that we are better for having rather than not. And these are his 10mm figures that he releases on a monthly basis on My Mini Factory. I will put up a link to his shop so that you can check them out, and if there's something that might be of interest to you, then you can certainly go and support him. I would definitely recommend it. You can see here they've got actual chainmail or possibly like lamellar or some form of metal armor on them, and those chonking big shields. I maybe would have preferred to have some spearmen with those shields, but oh well, this is still pretty good and a lot more detailed. One of the things that, as you know, I complain about on 10mm models a lot, which isn't the case here, is you can actually see the face. I still wouldn't try and paint them, but that detail being there is really nice. So I have got myself a full division of these, and I do plan to be working on these over the next week or so, get them painted up and see how they look. Once I see how they look, I do think I will need to do at least one more division of heavy infantry for this army, so I will do a bit of a painting video and a bit more of an in-depth dive on how these look. But that will mean after finishing these, I will have 4 divisions and then hopefully get a 5th one as well. And that will have a really nice, impressive army for this project. This project is coming along really well. It is going a little bit slower than I did initially anticipate at the beginning of the year, but that's okay. I have also been doing some background research, and I have come to the realization that I want to have the Jin Empire to go against my Mongols as well. And, well, to be honest, the Song, certainly the Irregular Miniatures ones, and even these ones from 10 Kingdoms, I don't think are actually something that I can use to properly represent the Jin dynasty of northern China as accurately as I would like. However, that's where, once again, the 10 Kingdoms miniatures come in. This guy's really focusing on that medieval era of China and Asia, which I'm really happy with. I'm so glad that I came across him from a bit of searching and research. And these models are perfect. He has also got a Khitan Liao force that he has fully completed. And from being a member of his tribes, I can say that his next plan is to do the Jin Empire. So we will be getting the Jin to be able to fight both against the Song and also against the Mongols that I've been working on. And on that note, here we have some Mongols for you to take a look at as well. These are more of my Pendraken miniatures that I have been working on since the start of this channel now, and is enough for another division of these, which will take me up to 5 divisions of the Mongols. Now, these ones, because I have painted quite a few divisions of these already, again, I didn't want to do another painting video specifically on these, but just to give you a bit of an idea of some stuff I'm doing to add a little bit more variance into the units. So for the Lancers, first of all, I have added in the heavy command staff that Pendraken do offer. So we've got here this horsehair banner that will go in the unit, and one of these I think is this one, perhaps this guy over here. He is actually their commander. One of them certainly is. Maybe one of the others, I've got to admit, they do all look quite similar, but I think it's this guy, one, with the sword out in the sort of charge position. So that, again, just adds a little bit of extra variance into the units. And I have also as well, taking some inspiration from my Keshig archers, I have painted up some of the archers in metal, and these are their medium horse archers from Pendraken. I think that's roughly what they're called, but I can't remember exactly. And they are basically there to add a little bit of extra variance into the unit. I don't want these, like I did with the Keshig's archers supports, where it's all metal armor, so these are maybe not quite as high up and quite as well supported a unit as those, but it does add a little bit of extra variance into the typical lightly armored horse archers that I have been using for this project. And then also as well, I have to show this because I love these minis. another bank hair dog for my army. I was really happy when I put them. Let's see if we can get this to actually focus on him. There we go, there he is. So I am really happy that this army has, or the Pendraken have these in this 15mm scale, which does work really well for large dogs in 10mm scale. I am really glad that I've got one command base with one of these on already, and I have resisted the temptation on my more recent bases to put one on every single commander, but we are adding in one. And for the commander in question, it is coming again from the Pendragon's command blister or pack or whatever you want to call it, and it is their musician, who is on a camel. Maybe not the most, it's not going to fit into an army or a unit in the most succinct way. I can't imagine that a camel will be riding along with all the horses inside of the unit itself, but certainly a little bit of an interesting mini and adds a good bit of variation to use as a commander base. So that's where we're at the minute with the medieval 13th century Asia project that I've been working on. We have got one division finished and two new ones that I'm kind of switching between depending on how I feel on the day, to get both of them painted up hopefully as quickly as possible for you to be able to check out. So that's where we're at, and I think where the future is going to be going is get both of these armies up to 6 divisions apiece, and hopefully by that point 10 kingdoms will have started on their Jin Empire, and we'll be able to start to add that into the mix, which will give me 3 forces all in the same region that we can then start to fight against each other, and I'll start having a look at some more 10mm specific terrain at that point. But I want to know from you, how do you like this video format? I'm trying something a little bit different here rather than just doing the same video every single time. And, I can't imagine wanting to see the same painting tutorial. There's only so much use to that. And I still want you to really be involved in this project, see how it's going on. And I'd love to get your feedback. What's your thought on 3D printed minis? Are they showing these off? Is this something that's of value to you? Or would you prefer that I stick to recognized sculpting companies and things like that? I want this to be something that you can feel you're a little bit of a part of, and we really grow the interest in this very niche area in an already very niche hobby. But anyway, I've been Brett. Thank you very much for watching today. If you do want to catch any of the videos that I've got planned coming out in the future, or see any of my old stuff, why not stay around, have a look, see what videos are already up, maybe hit that subscribe button even if you are enjoying the content. It does help me out massively, particularly as I'm a smaller channel and just growing here. But I'll throw up some photos for you of the finished song in a little bit more detail. But until next time, I've been Brett here at Tabletop Sagas, and I will see you soon.